Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, coming to a close here in 2019, but I still have a little bit of XRP and Ripple related content to put out for you before we close out the year. But then I gotta go spend some time with my beloved Michelle, aka Moonbay. So take a look at this. I got a couple stories I want to share with you. Now this one's fresh today. In crypto media, titled, "Did Ripple founder Chris Larsen just move 60 million XRP? Traders track large Bitcoin and XRP transfers." Separately, some of you may be aware of this, but even if so, I don't know if you've ever seen the specifics. Did you know that David Schwartz, Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger, back before the internet existed, David Schwartz was working on distributed computing. Oh yes, and I've got an article I'm going to share with you, but along with some other tweets from the XRP community. But before going any further, if you would ever so delicately tap that like button, if you would be willing to, just know I genuinely appreciate it. I don't know how it works, but I know it's good for the channel because the algorithm looks for that type of thing. And also, if you've been listening to me but have not yet subscribed to the Moon Lambo channel, what it is you waiting for? Come on, do I have to flirt with you? I'll do it. Do I need to bat my eyes at you? I will absolutely do it. Just tell me what I need to do to earn your subscribe, and I will do it. I'm desperate. but no, I do appreciate all the support, though. Just know that. So this first article I got from Robert Thompson, and he tagged me along with fellow XRP YouTuber, The Digital Asset Investor. So let's go ahead and dig into this real quick here. Cryptocurrency whale watchers are tracking the movement of millions of dollars worth of XRP. On Monday morning, wallet activated by Ripple founder and former CEO Chris Larsen received 60 million XRP from a wallet of unknown origin. About 5 minutes later, the wallet attributed to Larsen sent, I'm going to round it, 56.9 million XRP to a separate unknown wallet. And of course, that, not surprisingly, kind of caught some people's attentions, and you can see there are the two alerts on your screen right there. Let me scroll a little lower. Although the exact reason for the transfers is unknown, users on the XRP-based forum XRP chat have in the past speculated that Larsen is the sole owner of the wallet. And so there's not clarity around this, but look, there's going to be all sorts, and whether or not, I mean, maybe it's Chris Larsen's wallet, maybe it's not. I don't know, but I got to tell you, even if it were, like, even with this quantity of XRP, it's not as though, typically when you see these big transfers, it's not like there's just this massive quantity of XRP getting onto an exchange and being flooded onto the market anyway. Even when there are massive purchases, when Ripple actually does sell XRP, people talk about, even if it's 100 or 200 million, whatever the number is, where the XRP sold over any given period of time by Ripple, most of it doesn't even make it onto an exchange anyway. Certainly not immediately. And especially if there are, and this does happen too, and Ripple's been transparent about this, sometimes you can get a below market rate from Ripple for XRP, but there are stipulations attached to that because they don't want the market to just be flooded to what it would have to be something that's mutually beneficial for Ripple and the other party. And so sometimes that can happen too here, but I just want to be clear, like it's not necessarily the case that all of this XRP is just getting flooded on the market anyway. Next, here's a tweet from Michael Arrington. Let me read. He was actually a retweet, so let me read the original one first here, and it's from somebody named Gautam Chugani. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I give it the old college try there. So he wrote this. Honestly, 2017 to 2019 crypto winter has cleaned up the space a lot. Those who have thrived are in for a disproportionate survival dividend. Stay in the game. And I do like that tweet. That's funnier. And Michael Arrington went ahead and retweeted that, and he wrote, "This feels correct to me." Yeah, me too. So a lot of the space, I mean, there's all sorts of projects that probably still need to die. That's why it's funny to think, too, like, of course, Ripple gets grief for selling XRP, even though they never even did an ICO. They were initially started through VC and angel investors. Now they do get money from XRP, but it wasn't much back in the early days. But it's just funny that when you look at all these other projects out there that are also selling their cryptocurrencies to fund their projects, nobody wants to buy them, and so many of these projects are going bust. So think about that. On the flip side, because you can only sell it if there's somebody that actually wants to buy it. Think about it. And so Ripple is able to sell their XRP holdings Why? Because, how about that? There's something to this. Damn it. Think about it. Next, here's a tweet from XR Plumber. He writes, XRP will boom. I believe that so much. I am investing my hard-earned money into it. Will it be tomorrow? Or 1 or 2 years? 5 or 10? Who knows? But I am confident it will happen. Until then, the more I accumulate, the less it has to climb to make an impact on my life. And, of course, I don't offer financial advice, period. And I don't pretend to know where all this is heading. But my thinking is pretty well in line with what XR Plumber here wrote. So I'm happy to, like, I'm playing the long game. And I just look at the longer it takes, it's just, I'm getting that much more XRP than I ever thought I'd have the opportunity to accumulate. And then I also only buy what I'm willing to lose in case this doesn't end well. But every time I say something like that, I want to be clear, I am Mr. XRP Bull. I think this is, well, first of all, going very well. Forget the price action. That has nothing to do with utility and what's actually being built out. I think it's going very well in terms of real-world adoption. We're seeing that take place. And so, to me, it's just like, hey, Moon Lambo, happy to play the waiting game here. Next, here's a tweet from a link to the future who wrote this. Not financial advice, but a heads up. Keep your eye on taxes when realizing gains in crypto. Long-term gains are taxed from 0 to 20% based on income. If not, you could be paying up to 40% on short-term gains. Educate yourself on taxes and tax brackets. And so, look, I'm not offering tax advice. In addition to not offering legal advice or, financial advice, I'm not offering tax advice either. I'm certainly not. As far as buying and selling of crypto, yeah, maybe talk to a tax professional first, because the implications of such are different depending on where you live in the world. But I just thought I'd highlight this because it's a pretty reasonable reminder to just be aware of what's going on. And I still say in the United States, at least from a regulatory perspective, like they're still trying to figure out the implications. So yes, there's like a quote unquote tax code around crypto, but it's subject to change on any given moment here. So we'll see, because I don't even know, like, what is cryptocurrency? Is it an actual currency? Is it going to be classified as some sort of commodity? So they're going to recognize utility? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen down the road? But that's why ultimately it would be nice if we do get to a world where people are actually spending or buying things with crypto in mass, like if it actually makes sense to, and there's a proper market infrastructure to make that happen. If you could, it would be just conceptually interesting, and I don't know if this would be a thing, but if you could not have to pay taxes for taking a profit, via capital gains tax or something like that, if you could actually just spend your XRP. And, maybe, who knows? We'll just have to see how this is all played out. But it's not really easy to buy stuff with cryptocurrency in 2019 anyway. So there you go. All right, next. Ripple's David Schwartz worked on distributed computing before the internet. And this is not new news. This is from July 10th, 2018. But I don't think I've ever talked about it. I definitely never covered it in any meaningful way. If I ever said anything about it on the channel, it would have been in passing. But there's this article from about a year and a half ago, and I wanted to share this with you because it's fun. And David Schwartz is clearly quite the genius here. Right? And so from being one of the original architects of the XRP ledger to contributing to the creation of the interledger protocol with Stefan Thomas, David Schwartz, Ripple's chief cryptographer, is now the CTO. Offerings to the cryptocurrency world are numerous. Reports have recently surfaced that show the cryptographer's contributions to computing and computer systems even before they were in the mainstream. The year was 1988, with just around 15% of U.S. households utilizing personal computers, which is kind of funny to think because now we all have computers in our pockets. Cell phones. It was the age of the Apple II, the Commodore 64, and the Atari ST. David Schwartz, then running his own company known as David Schwartz Enterprises, Inc., filed a patent to the United States Patent Office for a computer system. The computer system in question was a multi-level distributed computer system for distributed processing. It was also mentioned that the system is meant to be used with a plurality of personal computers. The system is designed to allow an assigned task that shall be divided into a plurality of portions, which are then processed in a distributed fashion. Unprocessed parts of the task are distributed to available computers on higher levels until all the tasks have been distributed. This seems to be the first mention of distributed computing in the technology world. Think about that. The first mention of it. And the potentials for the invention were recognized by Schwartz in the original document. And the patent states, quote, "The multi-level computer system is particularly well suited for use in an office, corporation, or the like wherein a hierarchy of personnel exists. Each user would be provided with a personal computer which would be coupled to one of the levels of the system." That's look. This is cool stuff. He's looking at distributed systems. A couple decades before Bitcoin would even come to exist. Anyway, the invention is also aimed at providing a computer system where the portions of the task are transferred between computers, with a continuous active interconnection between the computers being necessary and an objective of the patent. User throwaway995485 on Reddit said, quote, and I think this is a good way to wrap up the article and the video. Here's a quote from him. "I didn't invest in XRP. I invested in David Schwartz's big brain. So far, it has made me an S-word load of money." I got a kick out of that. But that's it for this video. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!